Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rukak Radash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Minna Valley campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, it could be edifying. All right, and if you have been on the internet in the last 24 hours, all right, and if you're keeping up with the news at all right, and what, the president speaks on, and, he always has something to say or tweet about, all right, he was asked yesterday, all right, by news reporters, how this war would affect, has he thought about how this war would affect the, the American populace? And he plainly said, you can go look it up, it's not AI, it's him, all right, because everybody's reporting it. Even BBC News in England is reporting on it. And they're saying, he said he doesn't think about, the finances of Americans. All right. As the president, he literally just said that he's not thinking about their finances. He's saying Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. All right. Meanwhile, people are starting to feel that squeeze. That we through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah Shah have been saying was coming. We didn't know exactly how the Lord was going to bring it. Even leading up to this previous election, between Trump and Kamala, I was thinking the Lord was going to put Kamala up in there. Nah, they put Trump ass in there, and ever since then, man, all right, this is where we've gotten to. All the executive orders, all the tariffs, all the words, all of that has led to, the economy being squeezed. All right, they started this war with Iran, and now Iran has, closed off the strait. They're blockading the strait. Either way, that there's a choke point, and they don't have to worry. Those at the top, they don't have to worry about gas prices and shit like that. But everybody else does. The ones that voted for him does, or do. All the red MAGA hats and all that shit. See, now they're feeling that when they go to the gas pump. I remember back when Biden was president, and they used to take the little stickers and put it on the gas tank like, oh, I did that, and it was a picture of Biden. But now they got him for Trump, okay? Because he can't blame this one on Biden. This was on him. This one was on him. And during this campaign, while he was running, he tried to, he was no tax on tips, no this, no that. We're going to release the Epstein files and all that. Bro, he tuck-tailed and turned on and lied about everything. Everything he said he was going to do, he didn't do, man. He said he was going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. All right, and you damn Edomites, man, that stuck behind him. You got cake. You got, I always say cake on your face. You got egg on your face, man. But I want to bring out a couple scriptures, man, because this is, he is the epitome of the Edomite. This guy Trump, man. And people are starting to, people dislike him, but hell, he represents what an Edomite is. When you let an Edomite rise to this level of power, this is how they move, man. They don't give a shit about nobody else but themselves. He's a narcissist, and not in the sense of what women just call every man that set some boundaries around him. We're talking about an actual narcissist, Elder Apostle Har and the apostles have said through the spirit that this is Nero coming back. And Nero said he'd be back. He also burned down Rome. He allowed Rome to burn and blamed it on the Christians, on the Israelites that were followers of Yahweh Shah. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. He gonna come after us. Hey, remember during his first term, he told us, he was saying, don't listen to the prophets of doom. He was speaking about the prophets, man. He said there wouldn't be a war in the Middle East. There's a war in the Middle East, in the so-called Middle East, man. Matter of fact, the main war is going to be there, the Battle of Armageddon. All right? So I just want to get a couple of scriptures. This is Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. All right, that's these Edomites. They come in with the smooth speeches, especially these Christians, man. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. See? And like the scriptures also say, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue to forever. They think they can just blow people up, keep people under their thumbs forever. Not live peaceably with everybody, but, oppress everybody. It says his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So they come with these, suits and ties and this fair speech, and optimistic about the economy. We're going to make so much money and all this. But really, their plan is to bring everybody under their thumb. They're about to wipe out the middle class here in America, man. All right? What do you think Trump is going to China for? And he brought all these tech CEOs with him, man. This is about the infrastructure of the NWO, of the MOTB being made mandatory, man. And yes, they're still going to be in conflict with war, but they're using this war to bring about the economic collapse so that the dollar can be replaced. And they want to get rid of these foreign, these sovereign nations and come under one banner, under one system. That was always the plan. So he's going to meet with China, because he wants, hey, they're fighting about who's going to be, who's going to lead this NWO charge, man. China thinks it's going to be them. And like the second chapter speaks on, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right, that's been China's MO. They think they got next. Russia thinks they got next, and America thinks they're going to retain power. So it's a power struggle. But we know the Lord rules in the kingdom of men. He sets down one and puts up another, and sets up over it the bases of men. The Lord put the damn bases of men over everybody, and you can't live peaceably with this devil. Like the scripture say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. People are in mourning right now because gas is high. I just sent in the chat. U.S. household debt. U.S. household debt. The debt that you people hold has surpassed $18 trillion. That's your student loans. That's your mortgages. That's your auto loans. That's your credit card debt. All of that. You people are fucked, man. And you can't just walk away from that debt. You're tethered to that debt, man. And that's another thing. They're going to offer a remedy for that debt by you accepting this new system. And a lot of people will accept it. By you accepting this new system, they might wipe your debt away. Start you out fresh. All right, but they are going to use that debt to pressure you. That was always the goal. Like brothers and elders have been doing videos on college and everything. That college was a straight up scam. It served its purpose. You got all these people with all these data analyst jobs and shit like that, and their jobs are just being replaced by AI, straight up. You don't have any hard, soft skills to go or anything, you could do as far as working with your hands and stuff. Like plumbing, electrical. Esau got all these people and these women up in damn office buildings and shit. And those jobs are being replaced by AI. So while he tries to be optimistic about the economy, they're planning on destroying the economy to bring about this new world system. But the Lord disappointed the devices of the crafty. He's not going to be able to fully... Let me grab that. Job chapter 20 and verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he's, a micro C-hipping people, while he's sitting there licking his chops like, yeah, we got him. He sicks his robots on everybody. The Lord gonna disappoint him. The Lord gonna stop it. These are the last few major prophecies we're awaiting. This is why he's going to China to meet with Xi Jinping. This is why this war is going on. This is where all of this eventually leads. Let's grab this. Yeah, man. Not this one. I want the one in Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. And the Egyptians, and this is speaking about the modern day spiritual Egyptians in America, It says, "In the Egyptians will I give over unto the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." Okay, and the words of the Lord do not go out void. The Lord said he would send a cruel Lord and a fierce king over the Egyptians. That is Trump. That is Nero 47, man. He plainly said he don't give a fuck about your finances. He don't care that you can't afford to live right now. He said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and that's what Bibi told him to say. This is you Americans' reality now. We already understood this. We already understood the game was rigged. It was compromised. But the mass majority of you Edomites were cool with it because it wasn't affecting you. And now it's affecting you. Now you realizing that Amalek cut your ass out of the blessing. and now the Lord is setting the Egyptian against the Egyptian, the oppressor against the oppressor. You know, the Lord is causing division within the Edomite household. Their daughters and their wives aren't attracted to them. You know, you got Edomite women coming out on TikTok exposing that the Edomite is a cuck, which we already knew this, but, you know, bringing the receipts. The Edomite male is fucking done, man. We're going to keep bringing that out because the Lord is allowing us to see the fall of our enemies. This is the same devil that had his foot on our neck for all these centuries. Did all the redlining, all the Jim Crow, all the water hoses, all the, last hired, first fired. Now the Lord is returning upon your own head, and you will not be able to escape. The Lord is making you bare. And he's using this guy Trump to do that. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is putting the spirit on Trump to not give a fuck about you Americans, man. That's the truth of the matter. And the Lord gonna put the spirit on you people to want to turn up, because once you can't afford anything, all right, because that's the thing about this television and social media and shit. Yeah, it's a good distraction when you got food, but when you don't have food anymore, all right, you ain't sitting there looking at that damn TV no more, man. And that's when people gonna start hitting the streets. But Esau wants that. Problem, reaction, solution. Order, ab, chaos. This was always the plan. But the Lord reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So we're hip to the game. You people are lost in the sauce, man. You still think America gonna continue as normal. You still looking at a 2028 election. Lord willing, America doesn't exist in 2028, man. We're in the 250th year now, and we see how fast this shit is sinking. You know? But I just wanted to speak on that a little bit, man. Hey, he is that, more proof. He is that cruel Lord and that fierce king that the Lord has set over the Egyptians, man. There's no mistake about it. I was shocked when I said, damn, I can't believe I can't believe it. He's the devil. But now we're in a time where this devil ain't, he about to be a truthful devil. He gonna come down with that great wrath knowing that he had but a short time. He just gonna say, fuck it, comply or die. And you got Edomites that are saying we will not comply. This was not what our founding fathers envisioned for America. You still have Edomites that believe that America was supposed to be for them, not for the state of Israel. So there's all type of conflict going on, man. And we're going to continue to watch them self-destruct. All right, and they're going to turn their anger toward us. All right, but we're protected by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the same power that's controlling them. So we have nothing to fear or worry about, man. But I just wanted to bring this out through the Spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Makakradash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.